Rapid reaction to the new AP 25 Top 25 poll. Welcome to episode 35 of College Football Speak Around the Corner with your host, Greg Pflugar. Let's get right to it. Hot off the presses, Top 25 AP poll. I know some of you are saying, Greg, this doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. We cover everything on this show. We cover the polls, we cover the drama, the wins and the losses. We cover everything. Let's get right to it. Okay, here we go. Top 25. Let's go to other receiving votes. Arizona gets a vote. UCLA, Purdue after the tough home loss to Penn State. South Carolina gets a couple votes. North Carolina, they get 3 votes. Not a very good performance in the first week. Oregon State with 5. Air Force 8. I do believe they're very legit. This year, Mississippi State, Mike Leach, 10 votes. Auburn, 15. Kansas State, 18. Minnesota, 22 votes. So, a 38-0 win. I know it was against a very poor team, but in a few weeks from now, Minnesota will be up in the top 25. I don't understand that. But UCF, 22 votes. Fresno State, 22 votes. Florida State, 2-0. Big win against LSU, 42 votes. Cincinnati, a tough loss against Arkansas. They look good in that game. Texas, 118. Penn State, not in the top 25 after going on the road in the first week to defeat Purdue with 122 votes. I would have had Penn State where Houston's sitting here. Oregon with 131 votes. They drop out of the top 25. They went from 11 to number 26 after losing 49-3 to Georgia in Atlanta. Let's get to the top 25. Houston, number 25. They go down a notch. I would have had them completely out of the top 25. I would have replaced Houston with Penn State. Dismal performance. I do think they're going to lose to Texas Tech. They can prove me wrong this coming up weekend. But there's something wrong about the Houston Cougars team not being able to run the ball last week. Tennessee Volunteers at number 24 again. I would have had them 25 last week. Again, they're still not getting the respect I think they deserve. I think they're still being undervalued. Tennessee Volunteers is going to surprise a lot of people this year. They finally get in. They do get in the top 25 here after week 1, and I think they're going to remain there for the rest of the season. Wake Forest goes down a spot, ranked 23. I'm actually surprised they're still in the top 25 without Sam Hartman, but the voters still seem to like the Demon Deacons. Wake Forest, number 23. Ole Miss goes down a spot. They're at 22. They showed me a lot last week. They did their running game. Zach Evans. Ole Miss goes down a spot. Very surprising. BYU goes up 4. BYU goes up 4. They're ranked now 21. They did run over 300 yards in the first game. Chris Brooks, the transfer from California, the running back, had a big day, and they played Baylor this week. It's my lock of the week. If you saw my show earlier today, I got Baylor plus 3.5 against BYU. The game's being played at BYU. So I think BYU suffers their first loss, but can they prove me wrong? We shall see. Kentucky stays at 20. They defeated Miami, Ohio 37-13. Had a little problem with their running game. And they have a big game They have a big game this week with Florida. Wisconsin, number 19. They go down a spot. They beat Illinois State 38-0. So Minnesota wins 38-0. They drop. Wisconsin, they win 38-0. They drop. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. Wisconsin, number 19th in the country. North Carolina State. Now they dropped 5 spots, 13-18. I had them dropping farther. North Carolina State, I love this team this year, but Devin Leary, the quarterback, had a bad game. Right out of the gate, he had a bad game. East Carolina, they were so lucky to win that East Carolina game. They were so fortunate. East Carolina missed an extra point to tie the game, and then they missed a field goal, a winnable, a makeable kick at the end of the game. North Carolina State ekes out a win. They dropped 5 spots. I would have had them going a little bit further back. Pittsburgh remains at 17. Big win against West Virginia. Their rivalry in the backyard brawl. Big win, 38-31. I think they're going to have problems next week here. They play Arkansas, which is number 16. I think Pittsburgh is going to have a tough time, but they're at 17. 16, Arkansas. They move up 3 spots. They defeated Cincinnati 31-24. That's a good spot for Arkansas. I thought they were a little bit undervalued going into the season. They were a little undervalued going into the first poll. I thought they should have been at about 16. They're at 16 now, so I think that's a good spot. Miami, Florida, 15. Again, I'd have them up a couple spots higher because there's a couple teams I'm seeing up there that should be a little bit, should drop down a bit. But Miami, 15. Michigan State, 14. Now, going into the first week, I had Michigan State. I thought they should have been where Oregon was, at the 11th spot in the poll. After that game against Western Michigan, they won 35-13. I still think they should have remained at the 11th spot. They have a couple injuries on defense. We got to keep an eye on that story. Michigan State secondary last year didn't do so well. They're kind of shaky to me their first game. And then they lost their big linebacker, Darius Snow. So we'll see what happens here with the Michigan State Spartans. Again, I'd have them ranked 11th. Utah dropped down 6 spots, losing that tough game on the road at Gainesville, Florida. Utah had the game. They're going to win that game. And then quarterback Rising throws an interception in the end zone to basically end the game. Utah dropped 6 spots. And there they put Florida at 12. And this is what I had a quandary with when I was doing my polls. I had to have Florida ranked ahead of Utah. But to have Florida 12th? Man, that's too high for me. That's too high for my blood. Look, Richardson is a star. A star was born in week 1. He's got so much skill, so much talent, but the Florida team has weaknesses. And I think it's going to show up against Kentucky here next week. I think their defensive line is going to get smothered. They're very thin in some positions. Billy Napier, their new coach, was given a depleted roster in many of their units. Florida 12? I don't. It was a big win, no doubt about it. They beat Utah, the 7th-ranked team in the country. I would have Florida 15th or 16th, and Utah a little bit behind Florida. Just my opinion. It's my rapid reaction. Oklahoma State, number 11. I would have had Michigan State there. Oklahoma State defeated Central Michigan 58-44, and they move up a spot. Makes no sense to me whatsoever. Oklahoma State is rated too high in this Week 2 poll. USC, number 10. They cracked the top 10. They move up 4 spots. They defeated Rice 66-14. I've got no problem with that at all. I think they're going to stay there for a while in the top 10. Baylor, number 9. They move up 1 spot, beating Albany 69-10. Big game. Baylor versus BYU. And for whatever reason, Baylor's getting 3.5 points. I got Baylor as the lock of the week. I think they're going to win that game, and they're definitely not going to be moving out of the top 10 for next week. Notre Dame moves down only 3 spots, losing to Ohio State. I think that's the correct call by the voters. They lost to Ohio State 21-10. I do think they're going to have a little bit of issues with their offense. Don't think they're going to supply enough juice to Marcus Freeman as his first-year head coach of Notre Dame. But he did an excellent job against Ohio State. The defense is real. Ohio State, number 8, I've got no problem with that. Oklahoma, number 7. I said Baylor by mistake because I would have Oklahoma and Baylor flipped. Don't know why Oklahoma's rated ahead of Baylor. But I think after this coming up week, I think Baylor might sneak up past Oklahoma. Oklahoma's number 7th. They defeated UTEP 45-13. Texas A&M stays at number 6. They shut out Sam Houston State 31-0, and they stay exactly where they are. Clemson drops down 1 spot. They defeated Georgia Tech 41-10. You all know how I feel about Clemson this year. I do not think they're going to win the ACC championship game. I don't think they're going to get the quarterback play they need, and so Clemson moving down 1 spot. I'd have them a few spots lower than that. And Michigan, number 4, they move up 4 spots. As I said, after the first poll, the preseason poll, when they had Michigan at 8, I would have had Michigan at 4. Now they got them in the correct spot. Michigan is for real. For real. Now, J.J. McCarthy is going to be the starting quarterback for the second week of the season here against Hawaii. I think he should be their quarterback going forward. I think Jim Harbaugh is going to finally make that decision. I do not know why he did not make that decision prior to game 1. I think that's all screwy and strange. I think Harbaugh's playing with dynamite. But Michigan's number 4. Don't think they're going to lose a game until they play Ohio State at the end of the year. Ohio State, number 3, they dropped down 1 spot. I agree with that. They defeated Notre Dame 21-10. But you couldn't keep them in that number 2 spot because Georgia rolled over Oregon 49-3 in Atlanta. Oregon at the time was the 11th ranked team in the country, which I thought was way too high, and it was proven to be correct. But you got to put the national champions, Georgia Bulldogs, defeating Oregon 49-3. You got to put them either 1 or 2. And I would put them at number 2. At Alabama's number 1, they shut out Utah State 55-0. So, overall, I agree with this poll, a lot of it. Again, I would have Baylor ahead of Oklahoma. I think they've got Florida too high, and I think that's going to be proven this week that Florida shouldn't be at number 12. Do not understand the Wisconsin shutting out a team and then dropping a spot. That seems weird to me. And finally, they've got Tennessee in the top 25, and I do not think that's going to change for the rest of the year. Tennessee Volunteers is going to create a lot of noise, and they're going to make a few victories along the way. Their fans are going to be rushing the field in that huge, beautiful stadium of theirs. Tennessee, number 24. And my Minnesota Golden Gophers, 22 votes? Only 22 votes? I think they had more last week, didn't they? I know in the coaches poll, the first coaches poll that came out, Minnesota had 6 votes. And now this week, after winning 38-0, they got 5 votes. Man, I want to recount. There's a conspiracy going on against the Golden Gophers. But in all seriousness, please, if you like this content, hit the like button. Please share the video with your friends and family and subscribe to this channel. It helps us so much with the algorithms on YouTube. It helps us get so much more exposure. So please, if you like our content, please do hit the like button, subscribe, and share. We appreciate you all so very much. Leave your comments down in the comment section below the video. Let me know if you agree with me or disagree with me on my take on this AP Top 25 Week 2 edition. Until next time, from all of us at Peek Around the Corner to all of you, please, you all take care of each other. Thank you so very much.